Hey there. Welcome to the second course for the song Doubt from 21 Pilots. I'm musically malnourished. You probably can't hear me that well. I'm musically malnourished, and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. This is where we do a deep dive into the lyrics and meaning behind the music. So let's hop on over and give this a look. Okay, it says Doubt is the 8th song on 21 Pilots' 4th album, Blurryface. It echoes religious aspects seen most prominently in their earlier works. There are two possible interpretations that can be applied to the song's lyrics. First, is the song captures what it feels like to be falling away from God. Considering Tyler comes from a religious background, it makes sense that he communicates a feeling of, I doubt you, but I don't want to, towards God. Which is interesting, too, because in the Gospels, they say, we believe, help our unbelief. So it's like both are true at the same time. Like we believe and help our unbelief because there's also a part in me that doubts and help me with that. He doesn't want God to leave him. He hates the fact he keeps shaking hands with the dark parts of his thoughts, giving in to doubts and insecurities, and he doesn't know if it will ever end, something to which many religious people can relate. The other, more sinister explanation could be that Tyler has already fallen away from God completely and is running toward Blurryface instead, for reasons explored in The Judge. It could be argued that Tyler no longer feels connected to God in any tangible way, due to the flawed modern-day religious system described in The Bridge, and instead has decided to plead with Blurryface for forgiveness, asking him not to forget about him, so that Blurryface will grant him artistic inspiration and success. Yeah, that's not what I draw from the song, but we'll take a look and see. All right, so let's get up here into the lyrics. Scared of my own image, scared of my own immaturity, scared of my own ceiling. That ceiling obviously is the thing that, like, the limiting belief or the limiting factor. So that would be the ceiling. Scared I'll die of uncertainty. Fear might be the death of me. Fear leads to anxiety. Don't know what's inside of me. So yeah, I mean, it's a struggle with fear here. This is interesting too, this idea of scared of my own ceiling, only because yes, it could be that limiting thing. And that would stick with this idea of his image, of his immaturity, of uncertainty, but also if you also take into account also the times that Tyler also talks about the fear of the dark, you could kind of draw this idea of laying in bed, looking at the ceiling. I don't really think that's where the song is going with that line, but that is an interesting thought also. So don't forget about wow me. Even when I doubt you, I'm no good without you. So I can see if they draw the sinister side from him saying to Blurryface, like, I'm not good without you. So don't forget about me. But I don't feel like that would be congruent with much of what Tyler sings about and believes. Because you have, I believe, or like, I believe in this line, I'm no good without you. And then help my unbelief. Don't forget about me. Temperature is dropping. I'm not sure if I can see this ever stopping. So this idea of, like, I don't know if I can stop myself from falling. I don't know if I can stop myself from feeling distant. Shaking hands with the dark parts of my thoughts. No. I feel like that matters. You're all I've got. No. Don't forget about me. Gnawing on the bishops. I'm curious because this starts to play into the lore, correct? This idea of bishops. But maybe not. Maybe he is trying to speak of a system. This seems to indicate a lack of faith in the organized religious system and the figures who teach and represent it. I mean, there's a lot of bad ones out there. By using the words their system, Tyler distances himself from the organized church as he doesn't really feel like he's a part of it. He has a desire to fight his way to the top of this system, possibly to make changes to the way it works. This line could also be a reference to 21 Pilots' more recent song, which I have not heard. When bishops come together, they will know that Dema don't control us. Dema is a city run by bishops of Vialism, a religion that worships man-made light. These bishops oppress the people living in Dema, and the Banditos, led by Tyler and Josh, are a group of rebels working to free the people of Dema from the bishops. In this context, this line could refer to trying to escape from Dema and break free from the bishop's system of Vialism. So yeah, I'd be curious if this is like the introduction of lore, other than obviously introducing Blurryface. Gnawing on the bishops, claw our way up their system. Repeating simple phrases, someone holy insisted. Okay, this is kind of like falling in line, which is really not to be necessarily ugly toward any certain systems, but it's kind of what Jesus spoke against. The Pharisees would kind of be that picture of the bishops, just doing outward works, religious works, but just outward for man to see and to feel righteous in and of themselves. And part of when Jesus even talks about praying, he says, don't be like the pagans, babbling, because they think they'll be heard for their many words. He's saying, no, but when you pray like this: Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. He starts from this place of Father. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our sins as we forgive those who have sinned against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Yours is the kingdom and the glory forever. He prays from this place of like love and affection, and also recognizing who God is. Want the markings made on my skin to mean something to me again. Hope you haven't, which I wonder if this has to do with maybe like religious tattoos. Sorry. Hope you haven't left without me. Hope you haven't left without me. Wow. Really interesting thoughts. Would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for joining me for this one. I hope to see you in the next one, because we're eating good.